You take like the end of a toilet paper roll and you put it into the toilet and then you flush it and you watch it race down. It's like a white noise machine.
How is it like a white noise machine to do it just with a normal toilet?
It's just like a Zen thing.
You guys are fucking weird.
So yeah, that was my first E3. I just did that. That was awesome.
Do you feel like a man now?
I do.
Do you feel like a man baby?
This is the most manly I've felt since my circumcision.
You've become a man baby.
Too much. Too far.
No, but it's good. You know, it's interesting because growing up and loving video games, you know, when people started doing video coverage of E3, you're watching it every year and you're like, wow, this is it. This is like super mecha magical wonderland of video games. And it still felt that way, like being there. But I'm very tired too, because it is kind of a hustle, and you're running around constantly.
It's definitely the most work intensive of the conventions, at least the ones that I've been to. And I think that's why I almost enjoy PAX and similar ones a little bit more, because meeting fans and stuff is always my favorite part of those events.
No, PAX is cool because it's people who they're excited about games. They're not there for work. They're there for fun. GDC, it's people who make the games and they're excited about game engines. E3 is exciting because it is all like, it's just so much stupid amounts of money is thrown there, and it is like a sales thing. It is a work thing.
Yeah.
But it's like we work in this. This is business.
It's such an odd mixture of people though, because you have people like us who are like who look, you know, like the typical image of a gamer. Then you've got like a bunch of 50-year-old like dudes in suits who look like they should be like the president of companies and shit, who probably are.
And usually they are, yeah.
Who may very well be, but there's a lot of them there.
There is a guy there, and I saw him several thousand times the last couple days. That guy, he has like a leather sort of notebook-looking type thing. Mm-hmm. He's wearing a black blazer and usually a cornflower blue shirt. He is the businessman. That guy is there because he's doing business.
Yeah.
You know? What kind of business? We don't know. He might be in advertising, he might be in sales. Maybe he
sells large booths.
Maybe he's the booth salesman. Maybe he's the booth inspector.
Yeah.
We don't know. But that guy is not us.
Yeah.
I'm wearing big, stupid teenager skate shoes. You know?
Yeah.
You're wearing a t-shirt with an army man on it. Like
It's a cowboy.
It's an army man cowboy.
Yeah.
You're wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's the point. I mean, it's a very casual, it's a very fun, laid-back industry.
Yeah. I mean, that's
but
the
it's still
fun
an
thing.
industry.
This is a show. I mean, this is a show, and this is an entire line of work that is entirely filled to a certain level, to the cornflower blue shirt level, with people who genuinely love everything about it and want to know everything about it. And this was really cool. I mean, there was a lot of like, I was doing a lot of hustling, running, like full out running sometimes to get from place to place. Because it is still kind of like a work thing. If you're not there on time for your appointment, you don't get in. If you're not there for the interview, you don't get in.
Yeah.
But it was just so awesome to be able to kind of like see all this stuff.
They definitely, there's like all the video game companies and everything, they save their best stuff for E3. Mm-hmm. That's what's cool about it. Like if you're really there for the games, it's the best place to be. Like PAX is great for community and stuff, and sometimes they'll have like a few publishers there who've got new stuff to show off. But for the most part, like E3 is really where it's at.
I'd like to see that change a little bit, actually.
I think I'm seeing that with Gearbox.
Yeah.
It seems like Gearbox is really putting their fans first. They showed off Aliens Colonial Marines at PAX East, and they took feedback from their fans. It was it's a free focus group, but at the same time, they want to make a thing that people who play games want to play.
So I think there's a certain amount of information, like obviously to get people even excited about your game, to get people at PAX to want to see your game, there are things that you have to show people early. You know, you have to get the press to like spread the word about your game and get people hyped up about your game. But I think we saw a lot of stuff at this show that could have very easily been shown at a fan event.
Yeah, but like for big surprises and reveals like that, like look at Watch Dogs. They're not gonna reveal a game like that at PAX. Like
I think it would be amazing if they did.
Unless the timing is perfect, like because not enough of they can't guarantee that all of the gaming press is gonna be there. Mm-hmm. Whereas E3, like if you're in the gaming press and you're important and you're like trying to do a great job, you want to be at that event to cover all the hot spots.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you want to try and build viral buzz, I think that PAX is probably the way to do it, to actually get people who are there at the front lines of the the community excited.
Yeah.
As for just spreading the news as far as possible, E3 is where you do it. It's a trade show. That's what you do. The press conferences are hilarious.
They're the worst part.
How do they do that? How do they do that?
Who are they for? Who's watching? Who's watching these and being like, well, thank God they did that exactly that way, because that is how I want that presented to me.
Reggie's a cyborg. Calling it now. He is a cyborg in the game Watch Dogs.
The square area of his face, I just don't even. What is he made of?
Meat?
Meat.
Didn't you get that? Didn't you read the wiki?
Raw steak, actually.
Yeah.
I think they
Reggie feeds a
scientifically
meat.
determined that.
Well, it was weird. We saw some things in these press conferences that were like, oh, okay. Like Sony. Sony had a pretty good press conference, right? And
They were cool because
by
they were
comparison.
well,
they were
yeah.
professional about it.
They released some things that we were excited about. They showed some things that were relevant to their audience, and then they showed like 20 minutes of Wonderbook. Like there was more demo of Wonderbook, and I like Wonderbook. So fuck you guys. Don't talk about Wonderbook. I don't want to get into Wonderbook because it's amazing.
Sony's press
But 20
conference.
minutes when you only saw 5 minutes of a video game is weird.
Sony's press conference was making out with a girl for 20 minutes and then having her sort of sit up and go, "Did I ever tell you about the time my dog died?" That's what that was.
That's how I felt Microsoft's press conference
No,
was.
Microsoft's press conference was a funeral for someone's
It was
pets.
just disappointing.
That press conference, all I heard during that press conference is, we've got new hardware next year, we've got new hardware next year, we've got new hardware next year.
Yeah, it was literally them just kind of grabbing for whatever they could until
That
the
was
next
like a
cycle.
press release clearance sale.
Yeah.
That was like,
It really
hey, what
was.
if we hooked up your social media to your Kinect? Hello?
They're the Ross of video game companies now. And I love Ross, you guys.
That's terrible. That's a horrible thing.
You
They've got good
can
pants.
find some good things at Ross, but you gotta pick through that. You gotta pick through that bin.
Hey man, I'll sit there all day. All day. I don't give a fuck.